Hey gang, welcome to Lockdown BJJ episode 2. If you're going crazy at home, here's a little bit of jits to keep you going. Alright, we're going to start out with the S to S drill. So if we're hanging out in the S mount, this is also the mermaid in yoga. So we're just going to come up, switch, starting to warm the hips up. Ten more. It's okay if you have to put your hand on the floor. I'm just doing this to avoid relying on that. Cool. So I'm going to look at the penetration step. As the knee drops, the other foot slides flat along the ground. So in your fighting stance, the knee rolls over the foot. As it hits the ground, you'll find this like wants to slide sideways. Not like this, awkward sideways on the foot. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of laps. So drop the knee, back leg slides, stand up. Drop the front knee, the back leg slides, stand up. Let's go back. As you drop the knee, the back leg slides. That becomes the front leg, stand up. Drop the knee, back leg slides. A few more. Slide, up, penetrate, slide, drop, slide, up, penetrate, slide. Do a few more. Drop and slide. Doesn't hurt to have your hands on your head. As if you were shooting, in the event you might get kneed. If you haven't seen the zipper nose break video, that bend is from shooting into a knee. Cool. Penetration step. So once we have closed the distance and landed with the shot, the easiest way to finish a double leg is to spin. Doesn't matter how big they are. You can't always do that stand-up-y one because they're too big or you haven't got your shoulder under the hip enough. We can always just kind of grab the legs and spin, all right? So this method is called step tuck. For the tuck to happen, I need to have the leg that's down. I need to have the top of my foot on the floor so I can spin freely, all right? Now, we do not do that move first. We want to step and then tuck. Step, tuck, step. And as long as you drive with the ear that's against the hip, they will fall. They will, okay? It's pretty much a done deal. As long as you're hugging their legs to your body, step, tuck, step, tuck, step. So do a few of them on each side. Swap knees. Make sure that foot's flat as you tuck. Step, tuck. Hugging the legs to your body. Driving with the same ear as the penetration leg. Swap back. So my left knee will be my left shoulder and my left ear. Hug. Step, tuck, step, tuck, step, tuck. Feels a little bit stupid, to be honest. I'm sure it looks stupid. Tucking at the top of the foot, step, tuck. Driving with the head. You'll land in a smash pass situation. Okay, so this drill is going to incorporate the forward scoot, and then we're going to do the butt scoot gorilla, which is a kids class drill. However, landing one hand on the ground, making sure you've got a wedge or a shell covering your head. We're going to scoot forward, swap, scoot forward. As you go backwards, wedge, wedge, two knuckles to the ground, gorilla, gorilla. Sit to guard. 1, 2, swap. 1, 2, wedge or shell, 2 fists, gorilla, gorilla. Sit to guard. 1, swap, wedge, fist, gorilla, gorilla. Sit to guard. Scoot, swap, butt scoot, butt scoot. Head behind the arm, just in case they do kick you. Grab a couple more. Reverse it. Fist. Scoot, scoot, swap, scoot, scoot. Active, fist, gorilla, gorilla. 2, 1, 2, fist. Scoot, scoot. Reverse butt scoot. Get up in base. Gorilla, gorilla. Cool. So we're going to do another one that has a get up in it. So from the break fall, we'll start in a low squat, such as this one. I don't know what it's called. That's what it's called. As you break fall, you chuck your chin, spread the force throughout the arms and the upper back and shoulders. Why do we do so many takedowns and never any break falls in any class I've ever been to? Bones does them. He's good. Chin down, slap, boom. As you start to get onto your side, pull your shoulder under, rock up so you can get onto your elbow, get up in base. Boom. Sit to the squat, slap, boom. Go the other side, adjust. Make a frame by getting from your elbow to your hand. Get up in base. Sit to the squat. Boom. Hip it up, elbow, hand. Get up in base. Step into the squat. Other side. Hip out, elbow, hand. Build your base. Get up in base. Step to the squat. Build a frame. Get up in base. Build a frame. Build your base. Get up in base. Step to the squat. Build it. Get it. Squat it, slap it. Essential detail of the break fall is to keep your chin tucked to your chest so your head does not bounce off the ground. I learned that the hard way in a street fight. I was getting punched by 3 people at the same time and I fell over. However, upon getting mounted, I did manage to sweep him and apply a rear naked choke in a real fight, thus validating my shitty break fall. Okay, so let's do the back roll into the flat roll. The point of the flat roll, the melting, when you're doing like a belly down armbar or a sprawl, we want to like spread out our turtle and flatten nicely to the ground. So what we're doing with the back roll is move your head, create a nice plane to roll over. And then once you have attained that plane, we're going to flatten out. Okay? Now the correct way to do this is to swap, and then you kind of walk, and come back to a forward roll. And from the forward roll, we can back roll the other side. Toes go over your shoulder. We go flat. We swap to the other shoulder. Walk. Attain the forward roll. From there we can go back, spread out into the flat roll, swap shoulders, walk to the forward roll. Make the space by moving your head, toes go through the gap, flatten out, swap shoulders, walk. Flat roll, swap shoulders. Tiptoe. It's almost the invert drill when we walk up on our shoulders like that. Very similar. Flatten out. Swap shoulders. Walk. Back roll. Shoot your toes through the gap over your shoulder. Roll out. Boom. Swap shoulders. Coming back, flatten out, swap shoulders, forward roll. There's not a lot of room in here. Flatten out, swap shoulders, walk. There we go. Create space by moving your head. Put your toes through the space that you just made. Flat roll, swap shoulder, forward roll. Create space by moving your head. Flatten out. Finish the armbar. Swap sides. Walk. Last two. Back roll. Flatten out. Finish the armbar. Slash sprawl. You could sit out from getting sprawled on. Forward roll. Make the space by moving your head. Back roll. Flat roll. Swap shoulder. Invert to forward roll. Okay, it's back roll, flat roll. So, we're going to have a look at two back mount drills. My favorite. Welcome to the Super Zone ebook coming not very soon, but it's on the way. This is the technical mount drill where we slide the knee and then the other foot slides up as per the penetration step drill we did before. Grabbing a couple of them, alternating each side, slide up, one's knee and one's the foot. So you're meant to use this in the mount when they turn or when they bridge into you. So if they bridge that way, I'm going to slide the other way to avoid the force. But we can also use this to take the back. So when they turn that way, I slide my knee behind the head, I apply the harness, and boom, I'll come to here. The next drill relates to the next step. If I've managed to get a seatbelt here and they're facing that way, they can easily slide over that hook. So what I'm going to do is plant that foot high, push my knee into them, and as I take them back the other side, I'm going to stop them from escaping on the other side by applying this foot to my knee. And it's that hammer and the nail technique that we doesn't have a lot of success under side control, but it's a good beginner thing. You go like that so they can't mount you, and if they move around too much, you can slide that in and recover your guard. That's the hammer and the nail. So we're using that from underneath the back mount. So if you want to switch seatbelts, that's cool. Otherwise, just hold one or get a false grip so you feel like you got a seatbelt. The idea is though, as they start to cancel the bottom hook, you take this foot high. So not just down here and push the knee in, it's quite high. Then from there, plant the foot, push the knee into the hip, and then we cross over prevent, hammer in the nail, so that as they fall into the back mount, this hook is high on the body. It's not down there easy for them to escape from, okay? But let's just say they did pass that hook. We plant that foot wide, hip out, it's hip in, push the knee up, and then we hammer in the nail to catch them on the other side. The technique is called crossover prevention in the Gracie syllabus, okay? So long step, forward, hip in. As you push the knee into them, you catch, crossover prevention. High step, boom, push the knee in, hammer in the nail, crossover prevention. Big step, hip under. As you push them with the knee, crossover prevention. Big step, hammer in the nail. The hammer is the important one. You're catching their hip and forcing them back into the back mount as they try to escape. Step, hip in, push the knee, crossover prevention. Step, hip in, push the knee, crossover prevention. A few more of those. It's a forward hip escape with this hammer in the nail. So forward hip in, push the knee, crossover prevention. There's the back mount details. The next few drills are passing drills. I'm going to do them with the kick shield, just how we would generally do them, or with a ground bag, i.e. a kick bag where the straps are worn off, so you just use it for jiu-jitsu and MMA ground and pound stuff, right? So I'm going to do some of them with a pillow just to prove you can, because I know a bunch of you are stuck at home. So we'll do some with the shield and some with the pillow, right? So the first drill is essentially the cartwheel pass. And by that I mean I plant all my weight on my shoulder and slightly on my head, and then I can step, and you can back step from there, okay? The bed got in the way, obviously. But I can go like, and pass like so, all right? The detail in this is I'm going to start with my knees and my head on the same side. Then I plant that shoulder. Then when I jump, I move my head. Move your head. I assume you went and got a pillow, or pause the video and went and got a pillow. Anyway, the important thing is that all my weight is on my shoulder. So I can even do it with my hands off the ground. Jump, shoulder, jump, shoulder, jump, okay? Knees and head on the same side, plant the shoulder, jump. It's okay to use this hand. In real life, you probably will. In real life, you probably actually hug the hip while you do it. So I'm hugging both legs, and then I jump. But as long as you get your weight on the shoulder, get a few more. Pin, drive, cartwheel, or just jump. I'm a little stocky guy, so I don't do big fancy cartwheels. I'm more just crush and just stay tight, get my hips over. This is also the rugby pass. You smush the legs together after a double leg, pin them, and then pass with a short jump. Okay. All right, that's the rugby pass and or cartwheel. Okay, so the knee ride passes. I'm going to use the shield because my busted knee's not very good and I can't get as low. How this works is we're going to start in the tripod position, and you're going to return to the tripod position every time. That's the most awkward part of the technique, is this last little reset to the tripod position, all right? The drill though is, if we've got both hands on the pillow or the pad or the ground bag, I put my feet together, and that will mean that this hand naturally comes off, all right? So from there, I step forward with the knee ride that I'm going to achieve, boom, and the other leg comes to the head, okay, head height. From there, I can throw some punches if I'm doing MMA, or to return to the position, I'm going to put my hands either side of the knee, and don't go straight back to the tripod, you go back to the feet together position. So now I'm on the side in the feet together position. As I step back to the tripod, my other hand will come. That's the awkward bit, this bit. It's not really a natural or jiu-jitsu specific movement, it's just for the purpose of the drill. Feet together, come to the knee ride, leg to the head. I can punch if I want. Hands either side of the knee. Go back to feet together, back to tripod. Let's get a few of these. Either side of the knee, feet together, tripod, feet together. Knee ride, foot near the head. Either side of the knee, feet together, tripod, feet together, foot near the head. Either side of your knee, come back to feet together, back to tripod, feet together on the other side, foot near the head, bang, bang, bang. Feet together, tripod, feet together, knee ride. Hands either side of the knee, feet together, tripod. Let's go with two more. Okay, so I probably do the knee cut with the pillow, so I'll do that just to prove that you can still train at home. Actually, maybe not this leg, let's find out. So if I was in combat base, and this is my opponent's guard, as my knee cuts to the side that I'm facing, my hand's going to hit the floor at the same time. So it's boom. The knee comes down and the hand comes down. This is to control the far hip as well. So now that I've pinned the legs and controlled the hip, I can lift my head up to kind of sit through like a sit out, slice through the leg that's clear, and then bring my hip forward to grab the underhook. You can bomb and switch your base to go side mount for good measure. You can also just go back. So if I did combat base this side, I would drop the hand, drop the knee, head comes up, so slide through, get the underhook, boom. And so see, I've just gone up and down on the pillow, but I'll show you again on the other side up here. So I was in combat base with the right knee up. As the knee hits the floor, so does the hand. I step up. As my head goes back to slice through, I grab the underhook and step to the top side. So to the cross chest, sorry. And then palm to palm, switch my base to get to a tight side control. Now I'm in combat base on the other side. As the knee comes down, the hand comes down, head goes up to slice through, grab your underhook, come up high. Now I'm in cross chest, my weight's on my hip, switch your base to thread to side control. Let's do a few more of them. I am going to do it up and down. I'll try to alternate so you can see a bit. Boom. As your head goes up to slice, switch to side control. Combat base, going across the body, hand and knee, hip through, hip under to get to side down. Slice, hand and the knee hit at the same time. Your head comes up, you slice over their thigh, coming through, switch your base to get to side control. Okay, on the other side, so drop the knee, head comes up, grab the underhook, switch your base to get to side control. A few more, pop, slide, get my underhook, switch the base, jump through the guard, coming through. Couple more. Combat base, controlling the hips. As the knee comes through, I step up, this hand hits the ground. Slicing through with my head up, grabbing the underhook, settling into the cross chest position. Switch your base. One more. Cool. So one of the other options for this technique is I can go into the back step, and the knee slice to back step is becoming a more popular way to get the saddle. So if you're into that sort of thing. So as I go to slice, maybe I get to here and there's just too much defense, like they're framing, they've got their foot on my hip or something. So then I will bring this arm and the elbow to the mat on this side. And I sit back. Now I'm in this position. If I want to pass the guard, I'll kick and pull that leg out. If I want to sit into the saddle, I'll go here and start attacking. Yeah. So the idea is to transition from the knee through into the back step. So as I go here, like we did before, I step up. Instead of going the underhook and advancing, there's too much defense here. So this leg does a big kick that way, and this elbow does a swing through this way, like you're throwing an elbow strike. Cool. Get to here. Switch your base. Let's do a few of those. So as the knee comes down, I encounter too much defense on this side, so I bring the elbow back step up, and I can sit into the heel hook territory. Let's grab a few of those. As you go for the knee slice again, too much defense. Bring the elbow, bring the back step. I can kick my foot out, and then probably come to a modified side mount, Gracie style. Or I get to here, there's too much stuff going on, so I back step over the far leg, pinch, and start trying to destroy every single part of it. Slide, elbow, back step. Move the remaining leg. I'll do a few on the other side. Hopefully there's room. Slice through, too much defense here. As the elbow comes down, I back step. Free my leg and come into a side mount. No good. Elbow back step. On. Leg root. Trouble. Too much defense, back step. Swing that leg through. Kick that leg out. Bring it around. Last one. Side mount. So that is the knee slice to the back step. All right, let's look at reverse knee ride to F mount. I think I can do that on this one, maybe not on both sides. So if I was to do this drill and come to knee ride, one thing I can do is go double knee ride and then back step with this leg. So the one that starts on knee ride is going to kick a big wheel kick. Oh, and I land in the S mount. So from here I can attack the arm lock. See, I didn't have to put my hand down or anything. I just lean forward. You can grab your foot as well. This is quite solid. Grab your foot and either hand as well. This is better because I'm sort of already creating like a little triangle of death right here. But this is good time. So what I want to do from there though is a little dismount. So once you get to the S mount like this, we're going to lean on this hand, circle that leg out, and you come back to mount. And then from the mount, we're going to dismount to side control. So this is a little bit more complicated. But as I jump, I'm going to put my hip on the bag. You end up in like a cross chest, and then switch back to side control. So I'm just going to keep doing it on this side because of my bad knee. So to pop to knee ride, I will go one hand on the hip, one hand on the shoulder. Knee ride, cool. Now we're here. Double knee ride, big back step. S mount, cool. Could finish the armbar. Could start giving them trouble with triangles and doing bones as what's it called? The walk away armbar. Yeah, I think it's called the walk through armbar or something. So you don't sit back, you just finish it. You finish it by leaning forward. That way? I don't know. Ask him. Anyway, you get to mount. Circle the S out. Get back to here. Drop onto the hip. End up in cross chest. Switch to regular side control, short base. Hands, knee ride, double knee ride, big kick, S mount. From the S mount, plant the hand, circle back to regular mount. From regular mount, jump onto the hip. I've ended up in a runner's lunge on this side. Switch to side control. Pin the shoulder and the hip as you pop to knee ride. That technique is called pop to knee ride. Double knee ride, big back step, S mount. From the S mount, attacking the arm or plant, circle, low mount. From low mount, jump onto the hip, up, boom, keep going. As I switch my base, come back to here, pop to knee ride, hip and shoulder, knee on belly, swap, big step, boom, come to here. That back step to S mount thing totally works as well. Like, people have gotten wise to me and they start like catching the foot in midair and stuff because, you know, I did it every day. So I had it coming because it's a pretty fancy way of getting to mount. Anyway, speaking of mount, let's get a mount. The world-class dismount, side control, pop to knee ride. Double knee ride, back step. End up in S mount. Could finish the S mount. Could be responsible and properly control the mount. Let's do one more. So dismount, side control, hip and shoulder, bump, knee ride, double knee on belly, back step, S mount, plant the hand, circle this one out. So we get to here, we dismount here. Boom. All right, I'm gonna give you a little bonus of the invert drill, just to make it super easy because people are really scared of inverting, but it's actually not that hard. Like once you get this one drill, it's pretty easy, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get onto my shoulders and just feel comfortable doing that. It makes a lot more sense if your arms are up here, right? Because then your traps are sort of in the way of hurting your neck. So with my arms up here, I can touch my feet to the wall. You might want to do that 20 times just to get comfortable with it, all right? Just boom, there with the arms out. It feels really weird if you try to do it with your arms tucked in, right? So we put our arms out, we reach with our feet. You're never really going to be inverting without reaching with your arms or your feet either. Like it's not a little armadillo move. It's a stretch and attack move. So you're always kind of reaching anyway, right? So once you make contact with the wall or whatever surface you're doing and your feet touch, I want you to cross your feet. And what you'll find is that you just naturally kind of roll onto one shoulder and roll back. So here's the invert drill. You reach, cross your feet over. Oh, look at that. And just come out. So to retract out consciously, you can just kind of slide your shoulder up, right? And the reverse is true if you're trying to invert under. You tuck your elbow in to get closer to the wall, right? So if I did both, one, I uncross, and I want to go back, I'm going to tuck my elbow in and swing my leg. And now I'm back, yeah? So cross. Well, would you look at that? How easy is this? I'm just going to do 3 more of them. You can play with it. Cross them. Boom. If I want to go back, I tuck the elbow in. Boom. Elbow in. Cross the feet. Oh, here we go. Too easy. Elbow in. Reach. Cross the feet. Unwind. Look, that's probably enough for that anyway. Let me know how you go with that because it's pretty dangerous. So just kidding. Keep your traps shrugged and your shoulders high. And it's really just about getting to this, the plow in yoga. We call it the plow, yeah? So see I'm on my shoulders, my back's not touching the ground at all. But my neck's not under any duress. Like you don't have to move it out of the way like with a back roll or anything. It's just like make sure you're shrugged as you get onto your upper back, right? It's really just, it feels really stupid and it looks really stupid, but once you're comfortable with it, it's not a huge deal. All right, that's probably enough from me. Thanks for tuning in. If you're stealing my drills for your warm-ups and stuff, Godspeed. I don't want anything for it. Enjoy.